What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. And the New York Mets get a huge win as they beat the Philadelphia Phillies 5-1, improving to 17-7 now on the season, as well as the fact that they took the series now against the Phillies, which I said going into it, I just want 2 out of 3 at the very least. If you sweep, I am very happy. But at the very least, give me 2 out of 3 because then I could sit here and walk away from the series feeling good about where the Mets are. Even though, again, it is early, these games still matter by the end of it. So it's nice to get some early season wins against this Phillies team that has been good to start off the season. And now the Mets find themselves towards the top of the MLB entirely, not just in the National League East, towards the top for the entire MLB in the standings. But again, it is April, and this was a very encouraging game at certain points to see certain guys come through with some big hits. There were points where I was frustrated, and I'm a little concerned that they weren't able to attack the Phillies bullpen the way that I really was hoping, especially with the names that the Phillies bullpen has and with how bad a lot of those guys have been. I would have liked a little bit more there, but at the end of the day, they won the game. They won the series. I'm willing to be patient here as long as this turns a corner come, June, come July, those type of months. I want to start seeing more of it, but I'm willing to just sit here and say it's April. Just please get the wins. That's really what matters the most right now to me. Get them early. The style of it will matter a little bit more to me later on, but it is something that I just wish happened. But we're going to talk about before we do. Leave a like on your way into the post game show here, or if you're watching on replay, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live here on Met Central. But yeah, there's a lot to get into. All right, needed a minute. I started choking there, but anyway, the first inning, Griffin Canning faced a little bit of trouble as I was very concerned with the way Canning's outing played out to begin because he allows that single to Bryson Stott to lead things off. Then he gets a line out from Trey Turner, but immediately a hard hit ball gets Bryce Harper to fly out, which I thought maybe was leaving the yard, just stayed in. But again, another hard hit ball. And then Kyle Schwarber gets that single, and then Castellanos flies out, but that was also another kind of hard hit ball there. So I was a little concerned, and I said it to Matt when that inning unfolded. I was like, I'm a little scared with how this outing's going to go for Griffin Canning because a lot of hard contact early and not executing his pitches in terms of the location worried me a lot. But in the first inning, Francisco Lindor would get a leadoff single. Juan Soto hits into a force out. Pete Alonso grounds out. And then Mark Vientos with a huge double, as it is so good to see Mark Vientos look confident and start hitting. And then he's able to advance the third on a wild pitch. Marte walks. Torenzo strikes out to end the inning. We go to the top of the second, which, by the way, something to note, Christopher Sanchez at a high pitch count at that point. Top of the second inning, Kepler strikes out Real Muto with a double, another hard hit ball. Bohm then gets a single. That one I'm not as mad about because that one went to Canning, which he probably shouldn't have fielded that ball. But then Rojas gets a single and another hard hit ball, which was concerning to me. I'm not mad at the location of that one, but it was very alarming to me that a lot of hard contact against him. But then he gets those next two groundouts, and it was not as abysmal. And I felt he started to locate that slider a little bit better, which is something that was intriguing to me. And even the changeup, he was getting down a little bit more. The bottom of the second, Tyrone Taylor strikes out. Acuna walks. Ozakar gets a single. And then I don't know what happened here that he. So Azokar's on first, and he just absolutely falls asleep. Sanchez goes to throw it over, and Acuna then tries to score. They throw Acuna out, and then Azokar gets the second. Lindor thankfully gets a single, which would have made it 3-1, but it was 2-1 at the time. And then Soto lines out. And at that point, I was happy, but I got annoyed as the game progressed that they didn't get that second run because I'm like, I hate that this is a one-run game right now. I absolutely freaking hate it. But Sanchez, high pitch count by the end of that. Then Canning with a nice 1-2-3 inning to rebound. And again, a lot better with the execution of his pitches. He was doing a lot better with the changeup, like I mentioned, and the slider, just leaving it away from the plate a little bit more. And then Sanchez was done. And I knew immediately with the pitch count he was at, I'm like, this is injury related. I'm like, there's no way they're pulling Sanchez after 60 pitches. And Joe Ross comes in, allows that single to Pete Alonso. I'm like, come on, come on. You got to feast here. And then Vientos strikes out. Marte hits into a force out. And then Torrens hits one. I believe this is the one that went to the warning track. And then that ended up ending the inning there. And yes, like Brian saying in the chat, Sanchez left with full forearm tightness, which I had a feeling right then and there that it was injury related. Canning then allows a leadoff single, but again, does good work, gets the force out from Rio Muto, gets back-to-back strikeouts, and then we go to the bottom of the fourth where the Mets offense does not get going. Top of the fifth inning, Bryson Stott with a leadoff single. Turner strikes out, Harper walks, and at that point, I was very scared of how this was going to go. But then Schwarber grounds out, and Castellanos ends up striking out to end the inning, and Griffin Canning, honestly, at that point, I was very happy with the 5 innings because I thought they were going to have to go to the bullpen in that inning and it was going to get ugly. I will take what he gave. Again, you want the length, you want the volume, but unfortunately, it's similar. It's a similar pattern that what we've talked about all season long with Griffin Canning, where he just has 1 or 2 innings where it kills him. And unfortunately, today the location's really what hurt him because the velocity was up for him today on pretty much every single pitch he was throwing, but he just could not get his pitches at the right part of the plate, especially the sliders he was hanging early. And he threw a couple of changeups, like I said, over the plate early. He found his rhythm a little bit later, which was nice. But to finish the outing the way that he did, I will take it. 7 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Again, it sucks that you can't get length there, but like I've said before too with Griffin Canning, all of us, every single one of you guys in the chat or watching on replay, we all would have signed up for Griffin Canning to give these type of outings night in and night out. And the fact that he's giving you consistently 5 to 6 innings with like 2, 3 earned run ball, and tonight it was 1. You can't sit here and get too mad because you're in a position to win the game. The gripe obviously comes in with the fact more that you don't have a lot of pitchers that give length in this rotation, which hopefully changes to where it does make it a little more infuriating that Cannon can't give a little bit more length. But we all would have signed up for this. Brazaban comes into the game, which in the bottom of the fifth, by the way, Alonso got hit by a pitch. That was really it there. And Vientos hit one to the warning track. I thought that was leaving the yard, but Castellanos made the grab there. Brazaban, though, comes in the 6th inning, walks the leadoff batter, gets the double play, allows that single to Bowman, then strikes out Rojas. So thankfully works in the trouble, works out of it. Romano comes into the game, and I'm like, you got to torch the ever-living piss out of him. And unfortunately, they don't. I mean, Taylor had a walk, and that was really it. Minter comes in, which when I saw Danny Young warming up, because I was at this game, and I saw on the Jumbotron that Danny Young was warming up. I'm like, we can't be serious here, right? Thankfully, I think it was just a bug because Minter came into the game, got a 1-2-3 inning, looked really good, which was encouraging to see from our friend Big Boom AJ. Not actually our friend, but you know what I mean. Tanner Banks then comes in for the Phillies. Ozakar ends up lining out, and then Lindor with a single. Soto grounds out. Kerkering comes in. Pete Alonso with a huge RBI double to make it a 3-1 game. Mark Vientos walks, and then Jesse Winker comes up to pinch hit, which first of all, I was so thrilled. Like the people in front of me even were thrilled that it was not Marte there. Winker draws 2 balls, and then they end up intentionally walking him. I will admit, because this is what I like to do here, I like to admit when I say things in the moment that I was very wrong about, and credit to Mendoza for being right with sticking with his guns here. In that spot, and I know that you would have had to go to Senger, but I wanted Brandon Nimmo to pinch hit in that spot because I felt, I know that Nimmo has not swung the bat well, but I felt you got to try to do damage while you got the bases juiced here. Go ahead and send Nimmo up there. But credit to Luis Torrens, who had a huge RBI hit to end up making it 5-1. Tyrone Taylor pops out. We go to the 8th inning where Ryan Stanek comes in. He faced a little bit of trouble, walked the batter, got an unbelievable double play. He forced that pop out to Taylor, and then Kyle Schwarber, similar to when Azokar fell asleep at first base, Kyle Schwarber fell asleep between the base paths, which led to a double play there, which I have rarely seen a double play like that in my life because these are MLB players. Like that should not be happening there in the major leagues. Then he walks Max Kepler. Real Muto flies out. We go to the bottom of the eighth, not 1, 2, 3 inning because Azokar had that single. That's right. And Lindor got robbed of that hit. Soto walked. Pete struck out. Then Jose Buda with a really nice inning. Good the rebound there because he desperately needs to be better in these outings because he's someone that I've talked about. Maybe send down the AAA when Nunez is healthy. But if he's going to be like he was tonight, that changes that conversation. The Mets went 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position, which was very encouraging. I would have liked a little bit more off of that bullpen, but at the end of the day, I liked the big time hits that they got. Like I said, Torrent gets a big time hit, and shame on me for not believing in him, but he has gone a little bit cold over the past few days, so I felt maybe you send Nimmo up there, even though Nimmo's cold. That was my only thought process behind it, but I'm a dope. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I'm going to believe in Torrens, who got that big hit. Mark Vientos looking a lot better. Pete Alonso, again, another multi-hit day. Lindor looks so comfortable and getting that average up for all the batting average fans, getting up to 301 with an 857 OPS. He looks good right now. He looks really good. And someone on MLB Network was saying they would pick him to be the MVP candidate in the NL. And if he's going to hit like this, I mean, it's going to be hard to argue. He looks so freaking locked in right now, and it's beautiful. And the best part about this is Juan Soto is going to get locked in at some point. And the top 3 in the order, and if Vientos is locked in, the top 4 of the order, going to just absolutely annihilate opposing pitching. So, beautiful. The only unfortunate part is that they didn't force the Phillies to use any of their higher leverage arms, which also would have meant that the Mets were losing or in a closer game. But that's the only unfortunate part is that the Phillies have a lot of rested arms tomorrow with Zach Wheeler on the mound. But hey, you know what? This team just keeps on winning right now. And I'm kind of at a point where I'm just expecting tomorrow them to come to the ballpark and no matter what, find a way to win the game. But yeah, I'm going to get to the chat and see what you guys are saying. Like I said, leave a like if you haven't, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all of that stuff. I'm just going to quickly do something before I address the comments here. Sorry, just looking at something on my phone. Panthers won just now. All right, let's see. We own the Phillies. I'm not going to celebrate it yet, but right now, I mean, it looks like the Phillies kind of have nightmares being in Citi Field, doesn't it? I absolutely love it. So much for a slow start for Lindor. Yeah, like a nice 2-3 week slow start. Just let him hit on the road next, and I'm feeling really freaking good. Very happy about tonight's win. Puts the miserable Twin series way back in the rearview mirror. Absolutely. Absolutely does. Imagine they did take that series where they'd be in the standings right now. I mean, one more win, obviously, but still. It would be nice. The bullpen was nails once again. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. And it just, I love that every time someone comes in from this bullpen, I feel confident. And don't get me wrong, guys had trouble today. Like I said, Stanek was not sharp today. Same with Brazaban, which it's going to happen with bullpens. But for the most part, it's like you feel confident. Love Lindor and Pete raking. It's going to be even better when Soto's raking in between them. Pitching has been great. Would love to see the starters stretch out past 6. That I agree with. Yeah, that's why I was saying I'd like to see Cannon get 6, but unfortunately, just was not in the cards tonight. But there will be times he's going to go 6, and it's just really about execution from the jump with him, because that was really the issue with him tonight. Just not the right execution early. Yeah. I mean, Nola's not been great for them, and the Phillies are probably screwed if Sanchez is hurt. Yeah, probably, honestly. A statement win for sure. Yeah. Um, Definitely a statement win. Statement series win here, because they need to prove that they could be with these elite teams. I know they beat the Phillies in the playoffs last year, so everyone kind of just felt that way, but just to create separation early and really send a message early that we're not fucking around. I love it. I absolutely love it. Terens took that winker, intentionally walked personally. Guy's been clutch this year. And he took my comments personally, maybe. Maybe he heard me from the stands. But he's been unreal with these big hits. And that's, again, shame on me for not believing. Because he's been unreal. I mean, every time he's up there with the runners in scoring position, every time he's up there with runners in scoring position, he does something. And yeah, I know, like, Nimmo's cold and Terens is not no Jose Lopetone, but I just felt like that was a chance to do damage. And you know what? Again, shame on me for not believing in Terens. And yeah, being rewarded. Strom and Alvarado haven't pitched this series, so that will be they'll probably be in at some point tomorrow. Alvarado got loose in this game at one point, pause, but he's definitely going to get into the game tomorrow. Yeah, no question. City is rocking, and it's insane how it's April right now and these games are packed. It's April. You would never see April games packed on weekdays in the past. You just wouldn't see it. Right now, every single night, and just the crowd on their feet in the big moments. It's a playoff atmosphere almost every single night right now at Citi Field, and I absolutely love it because I'm that type of fan that just lives for this shit. Like, I live for the crowd being electric. I don't live for the wave. Could we please stop doing the wave almost every single game? I would love that. But I go like I love it. I personally love it. And this is what Cohen wanted. It's exactly what Cohen wanted. Best ERA in baseball or team ERA? Yeah. Best team ERA in baseball. Love it. The pitching lab yet again. So I'm getting distracted here as Matt Boldy scored for me, which helps me out a lot for a certain parlay. Not to get distracted and talk about my sports betting life right now. I'm a Jack Eichel point away from a win here. Should be nice. Be very nice. Anyway, I'm talking too much about that. Let's see. A 7-0 homestand would do miracles on us. But even if they don't win tomorrow, you take 6-1 homestand. Yeah. I would take that all day. I mean, they're cooking for these fans. That's the best part about it. Thank you, Jonathan, for the support. I appreciate this. No need to thank me. I enjoy doing this for you guys. But let's hope there is a sweep tomorrow. Results man versus Wheeler. Yes. All right, I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, especially if you're Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live here. I'll see you guys in the next one.